got carried away on that one. Having fun. Just practicing doubles after doing that lesson video for Lucky. Just getting the pad going, getting my doubles going, practicing some rolls there. But that's how you can utilize those things too, Lucky. It's like, once you get all those things into your muscle memory, your kinesthetic memory, muscle memory, whatever you want to call it, you're training your body to just have that sensory feeling, and you're not only listening to the notes, but you're feeling the notes, if that makes sense. So every little vibration, every little note, every little manipulation of the stick you do, you also are getting a tactile feedback from that, and that's how you're training your muscle memory to respond in that same manner every time you're doing your rolls and that kind of stuff with your doubles. But that's why I'm a stickler for technique, because technique will really, it'll carry you far. And it'll make sure you don't injure yourself. That's another really important thing, is if you're holding the sticks too tight, all the shock, and you're playing the front of the stick, you have a tight grip. We call this the hammer grip. We call this the pointy finger. You don't want to do pointy finger. You don't want to do hammer grip. You're not smashing a nail kind of thing. And you can always play louder, That's why dynamics are so important. And developing the fine touch and control part takes a lot more discipline and focus of practicing that than just playing loud and rocking in single stroke and, power stroke with everything you do. Tons of great drummers that play nothing but single strokes, and you get a lot out. You can get a lot out of just single strokes. But if you want to kind of go further in it, and you want to explore, and you want to be able to play the different dynamics and kind of understand how you can use them in the music that you like to play and listen to, it's really useful to kind of go through that and train your muscle memory for that tactile response. So you're going to be really soft with it, at first, and it's like you can get louder and louder and louder, and if you're practicing on a pad, then yeah, you want to be, using a good amount of velocity so you can manipulate that rebound, But once you learn the control part of it and kind of how to use those notes and those different combos, you're going to be doing like closed stroke with your snare hand a lot more, probably more open strokes with your right hand, so you start to use a combination of all those different things. But playing ghosts, is really cool and fun, and that's what those closed stroke doubles are going to bring you. Like that, and getting used to accenting with that hand too. So you're doing staccato and legato notes all with your left hand, and then even practicing like 5 strokes and stuff, or 4 stroke. You're just doing 4 strokes lightly, or you can accent last strokes like that's a 5 stroke with one hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you can kind of approach it that way, and that's one of my last groups really uses that a lot. So that's one of those that uses a good amount of fine control, and we say it's like bouncing a ball. It's like you're bouncing a ball, basketball or something like that, or like bouncing a ball on the end of a broomstick. If you think about it like that, you're kind of bouncing a ball like that. But that's how you want to approach it in the bouncing the ball motion, nice loose grip. And have all those finesse strokes, because you can always play with power stroke later, and get louder, however loud you want. But not injuring yourself, not holding too tight, not letting all that shock absorb straight up into your joints and ligaments and tendons, because you'll get tendonitis or joint problems. Especially if you play for a long time or have throughout your career of drumming. It's really important to have that nice loose grip and let the sticks do the work for you. And again, playing the back of the stick. Playing the back of the stick, that's where all the control's at. If you're trying to play everything with the front of the stick and guiding the front of the stick down, you're going to have a lot harder time getting, and you're going to get tired faster because you're using a totally different, series of, like, pushing the stick down rather than just letting the stick naturally do, with gravity and the way that you're manipulating it with the fulcrum. But that's that holding the baby bird principle. So you can see how my hand is nice and loose and the stick is able to flex. but I've still got control with it. And you can even play air drums. You know, you don't even have to have a pad. You just pretend like there's a circle in front of you, and you just play in the air. So you're using that nice loose wobble, nice loose grip, letting the sticks do that kind of thing. So, and then again, I was explaining the Weckl grip quickly in the last one, but that's where you take your front finger away. You know, because we're all taught to play like this, front of the stick kind of thing. You take that front finger away, all of a sudden you can bring the stick this far back now. So parallel with your arm. So you can get a lot more velocity and a lot more range of motion with it just by taking that fulcrum and switching it from here to here. So, and it's a little weird at first to kind of like leave that finger dangling on the side. At first I had to really focus. I was like, I played with my fingers pointing out just to focus on like, okay, play Weckl grip, play Weckl grip. You know, it forces you to use all your fingers. That's the key of the Weckl grip, is that, you know, any students that like have a really bad habit of always just fulcrum, 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 you know, not supporting back stick with the rest of their fingers, I always encourage them to try the Weckl grip, because just knowing that it forces you to use your back three fingers. Because if you no longer have that one, okay, I'm got my grip right here kind of thing, take that away, it's like, oh, whoa, this feels totally different. But it's training you to play in a proper manner with all your fingers. All right, guys. Oh, coffee cup. Always having fun, no matter what I'm playing on. All right, guys, happy drumming. Love you. Bye.